And now shifting our focus to Kenya. We've been getting you the continuous coverage of the protests in the country against President William Ruto and his policies. Protests against the now scrapped tax hikes have grown into calls for the resignation of President William Ruto. Influenced by no political party, these protests have been unique. The demonstrations have been completely led by youngsters and Gen Z. We have been telling you how social media played an important role in these protests, right from influencing, coordinating to live streaming the protests. Now, President Ruto is using the same means to reach out to the youth of the country. For the first time, they had a one-on-one debate with the President Ruto. The interaction was organized via a feature on social media platform X called Spaces. It allows users to host live audio conversations with others. President William Ruto interacted with over 150,000 people. He spoke to many of them one-on-one. Now, the meeting was hosted by an ex-user who goes by the name Osama Atero. He has been a key voice during the protests. The X-Space session was dubbed as #EngageThePresident. The event started with glitches. Many struggled to connect, and the debate started over an hour late, which eventually cut the whole 3-hour engagement. But the protesters did not let go of the remaining time. They bombarded Ruto with tough questions, calling him a liar, accusing him of lacking empathy. Protesters were very direct. They questioned Ruto on the protest deaths, police brutality, and the government response. Ruto, for the very first time, apologized for the police crackdown on the protesters. At one time, he said that he agreed that some officials displayed obnoxious opulence and that he was personally advising them how to conduct themselves. Well, talking about opulence, the Kenyan president himself is known for that. He has been slammed for his extravagant lifestyle. He is in fact known as a flying president who in 20 months went on 62 visits to 38 countries. But coming back to the debate, Ruto said an investigation is underway on the protest deaths and violence. He also accused some reckless people of inflating the number of deaths, and he also assured protesters the finance bill that introduced the tax hikes has indeed been withdrawn. Some protesters feared it still might become law after 21 days as it had been passed by Parliament. The debate ended with many left without speaking, but the president said that he had to go off to meet Kenya's Olympic team before they departed for Paris. Many users were not satisfied and said that the live interaction was not enough, but surely sets a precedent. Leaders interacting with protesters is a sight not often seen. The social media platform provided a means for live one-on-one engagement with the president. It gave people the opportunity to speak truth to power. Tough issues still remain, but giving people a chance to converse directly with the leaders is significant. Before his X-Space session, Ruto delivered a national address on TV. He announced sweeping spending cuts, which he said were needed because the planned tax rises had been scrapped. Now, these include the dissolution of 47 state corporations and several non-essential cuts for state officials.
We have since, after extensive consultations, struck a middle ground, and we will be proposing to the National Assembly a budget cut of not the entire 346, but a budget cut of 177 billion and borrowing the difference. Whatever we are going to borrow, the difference, will increase our fiscal deficit from what I intended to be 3.3% of our GDP. It will now go up to 4.6% of GDP.
Ruto last week announced that he will not sign the controversial finance bill and scrap the proposed tax hikes. The tax hike proposal triggered widespread protests and clashes, which resulted in the deaths of at least 39 people, according to the rights group. However, the government has put the number at 25. Ruto says to deal with the lack of cash, the country now needs to borrow heavily while cutting spending across sectors.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment. So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished. On the show today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alyson coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
Start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. The first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.